All right. Good morning, everyone. Woohoo! We made it live. We were having a little technical difficulty for a second here. And we are going to wait maybe just a little minute for Facebook to generate the live. And good morning, Jess.
Hi.
Here we are again, Brandy.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Brandy.
Yes, the birthday girl. Thank you so much. This birthday girl, this birthday girl has been through 40 circles around the sun.
Nice.
This is 40. It's exciting. Has anybody else crossed over to 40 yet? Let us know in the comments. And like always, let us know if you're there, if you're around. We love to connect with your energy. And yeah, just to have it interactive on these lives is always fun. So good morning if you're just joining now. I'm just gonna, for fun, Jess, give a few aspects of the day, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So first and foremost, the sun is still in Cancer at 27 degrees. That was when I was born at 27 degrees. So here we are today. We have the sun at 27 degrees. And what does that mean? Well, it means that it's in a part of your chart that's just ending the Cancer season. And today, my natal sun is conjunct this sun today. And I'm having my solar return. So that's what you have at every birthday. But today particularly is very interesting energy. And it's one that's been affecting me all week. Is that the sun is opposing Pluto, okay? Pluto's in Capricorn at 27 degrees. The moon today is in Aries at 27 degrees, creating a square with the sun, which is our last quarter phase square. We're at the third quarter square phase today. So if you look up to the moon tonight, she's going to be half. It's going to be half in the, okay. So what does that mean? Well, a lot today, because we might be feeling a lot of pressure. We might be feeling like Pluto, the transformer, wants something to change. And then the sun in Cancer wants to be true to her feelings. So we might be feeling that push and pull around, knowing that there's something that has to evolve. Pluto's the transformer, the evolution, the evolution. And then that sun in Cancer wants to be at home, all cozy in her feelings, and just like, and there's a bit of balance that needs to be found today. Yeah. So with that squaring the moon right now as well, we could be feeling like it's time to release something. And that's what Jess and I are coming to talk to you about. So here, I just want to check. Yeah, Jess, how are you feeling this morning? How's everybody feeling? Anybody there? Let me go check here.
Yeah, I would say, like, when you said pressure, I was like, oh yeah, I am kind of feeling some pressure. Like, I know there's just some things I need to take care of. And check off those things on my to-do list. So it does feel like a little bit of pressure, but it's also things that I'm like, this is a good thing. I need to take care of this, So yes, it just kind of made me think too, like today, when we're done with this call, I'm like, I know I need to like really evaluate my routine for the day, for the rest of the day. What am I doing? So yeah.
Yes. So yeah, so let me take this off for a sec here. Hello, good morning. I see. Happy birthday. Thank you, Louise. Sonia's there. Is it possible to join you on Zoom? Yeah, I mean, if you want to join us on Zoom, you can, and maybe just mute your mic if you like. And we're going to have some.
Do you want me to put that link?
I just put it in. Yeah.
You just did? Okay.
All right. Well, that's cool. So maybe at the end we can unmute you and have a little talk. Thank you so much, Tammy, for the happy birthdays. So let us know if you're there watching. If you're watching on the replay, let us know as well. We're going to jump right into it here. as soon as I can. You know what? Like going live on Facebook, there's so many little things to think about, really. You got to like settle everything up and make sure that everything's ready and that you can see yourself in the group. Okay. And that you can see the comments. All right. Okay. So we wanted to talk a little bit about, give you some information. We are in the waning phase. Today is the last quarter moon, 27 degrees of Aries, like I said, and we're having that Pluto blast. That Pluto blast is coming in to really create that transformative wave we might be feeling right now. And we're like, summertime, and it's pretty much a chill time in summer, but right now I wouldn't say it's so chill. Okay, I would say there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of fire going on, lots of fiery energy, especially with Aries. The sun is going to move into Leo soon. That's another fire energy. And I guess there's a lot of heat waves going on in the world. I don't know about you, just where you're at, but I guess there's a lot of heat waves going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is a time probably too that, you know, especially with Pluto is like the power. So there's a lot of people maybe in your lives, you might be seeing this in relationships right now, or let's just look collectively where people want to just grab onto power, you know, just grab, like, I think it's like last call, like people just want to survive. And right now, how does that affect us personally? I think too, probably our ego right now is looking to survive some way, somehow. And then in that waning phase, we're really asked to consider and prioritize our soul self, our soul care, and start releasing things that the ego so much attached to or wants to hold on to. Does that speak to you, Jess, or speak to anybody in the watching right now?
Yeah, I know, like, I feel like I've just the last couple of days noticed kind of some of those power plays, like not even with myself, but just observing like people around me and like what my family, just what people have said, like a little bit of those power plays, like getting in their ego, things like that, just noticing that. So
yeah, because like we're getting ready for the new moon, right? The waning phase. The last quarter is really an energy that you need to adjust. We need to adjust something, and the adjustment is usually letting something go. And I feel that there's just things that are coming up front and close and personal to us right now that it's impossible to ignore right now. Okay, that could be any desires, obsessions, attachments. Those can be behaviors and habits that we that are need to be felt and seen at the moment. Okay, especially with that Pluto stuff coming up. So I think we need to have a lot of compassion for ourselves right now and for people in our lives. Okay, we're like, it's a hard time to move through for a lot of people right now. Okay. And I really feel that that waning cycles allows us to maybe come into more compassion and forgiveness, and that trusting that divine timing as well. Like, you know, if you need to move through some layers of emotion right now, do that. But you're not the only one moving through layers of emotion. And I feel that when we have that perspective that we're going through a lot, but maybe our neighbor, maybe our families or our partners or kids are moving through a lot of emotion too right now. Yeah, that we really need to start, you know, release is the name of the game right now. Yeah. And what else is going on? Oh yeah, Chiron, we wanted to talk about. Is there any comments? Let me go see, because I have to move from one place to another and see who's all there. Yeah, there's more people. Hello. Okay, Dee, happy birthday. Thank you. So Melissa's there. Hello, beautiful soul. Happy birthday. Speaks to me a lot. Ego is trying to survive, bringing up a lot of these negative thinking patterns. Yeah, and Melissa's saying, tell me about it. Yeah, it's really much that time right now. And we can really utilize this waning. Jess pulled a card for us to help us move through this waning phase and maybe gather a bit more of that spiritual guidance to help us detach from this time and just know that we are all underlining, moving through the biggest evolutionary change of this lifetime that we are going to experience. So sometimes when we see it from that perspective, we can understand, like, yeah, you know, don't be so attached to maybe what you're moving through. I know I had that lesson this week. So yeah, Jess, what are you feeling about that till I find my Chiron notes?
Well, I can share the card. Do you want me to share the card while you're looking at
Sure.
Chiron?
And then we can talk a bit about Chiron, and I won't go in super detail, but a little bit. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the card it pulled, it was from Sacred Geometry, and the card is the lesson. So it has the flower of life, and then an angel here. Okay. And it's the lesson card. So I really feel like this is just reminding us that we are in the school of life.
Yes.
And a lot of us we're learning our lessons through the experiences, through the daily, you know, because you think of like in ancient times, many times people would go to these schools of mastery, for spiritual mastery. Well, I cannot think of the exact term. Anyways,
like our like the school of life, like the earth school.
Yes. So like in modern times, in these times, we're not as much going to places to learn our spiritual lessons. Like, yeah, we can gather in places like this, but a lot of what we're experiencing is just like the actual day-to-day human interactions that we're going through, just like the mundane, you know. Exactly. And that's where a lot of our lessons are coming through. If we're getting triggered or having to get out of our comfort zone, how we interact with other people, a lot of that is what's teaching us. That is what's teaching us on the daily. So just that reminder, like if there's a challenge that you're going through right now, maybe it's with another person, something you feel within yourself, is just that reminder of like, okay, what am I moving through? What am I growing through this? Like, how do I come out on the other side? Like, who am I becoming because of this? Because a lot of what we're experiencing, it's what makes us stronger. It's what makes us trust ourselves. It's growing those trust muscles. And I think the other part of this card that really the message like coming through too is just reminding us that when we're learning, right? So those of you here, whether you're live or on the replay, as Brandy's explaining, you know, where the planets are and the different transits and degrees, like some of you, it may be hard to retain that information or to remember all of it. But the important thing is the energy. Like, how are you feeling from it? You don't need to logically understand every single thing that you learn if you're feeling the energy of it. So it's okay. Like, you will remember and retain the information that you need to, but you're always going to feel it. That's what's really important, because that's how you shift and move through things.
That's exactly how we shift and move through things. And sometimes exactly that, you know, our ego right now, what I feel the transformation is happening is often our ego is just trying to comprehend. It's trying to understand, and it's trying to make logic of everything. And right now it's not like the brain is usually the last to know, in a way, right? The heart knows, your soul knows.
Yeah.
And when we speak about energy, or it's tapping into your soul's evolution or your soul self, it's a feeling. It's something you know intuitively. No one can teach you that, right? Nobody can teach you how to know. You know, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you can tap into this energy. So thanks for bringing that up, Jess, because we are, again, in one of the biggest times for our soul growth right now. And another theme, Jess likes this topic, the Chiron topic. So we all have Chiron in our birth chart. Okay. Jess has Chiron in Gemini, right?
Gemini. Yes.
I have Chiron in Taurus. But right now, Chiron is going retrograde in the sign of Aries. And what that means, so everybody has Aries in your chart. So you're going to want to go check where you have it. I have it in my 10th house. So does Jess. And that is wounds around our work life, putting ourselves out there, making money for ourselves, stepping up our game, because at some point, Chiron, it's the wounded healer. It's the deepest core wounds that you hold from traumatic events or whatever events that you had a hard time to process emotionally in other lifetimes and in this lifetimes. So these Chiron, again, it is your core wounds. So you want to go look at that, because like my core wounds are in Taurus, and Taurus is all about also money, resources, finances. So there must have been something that happened to me where, you know, maybe I was, you know, I went through something emotionally very difficult that I couldn't get over, and it affected me in the way I make money, for example. Okay. And Jess could be around communicating, how she communicates, how she gathers information, or how she shares information, you know?
Yes.
So it's really interesting when you start looking at your core wounds. And this Chiron right now is asking us to honor our needs. That's why soul care is so important. It wants you to honor what you want, what you desire. And that energy you've been carrying around that wound that is preventing you from valuing yourself enough to receive them. Now, I think I have to say that again because it just clicked in me, right? It's like Chiron really wants us to honor our needs and what we want. Okay. Yeah. And look at that wound that has been preventing us from valuing ourselves enough to receive what we want and what we desire. So right now, this Chiron is going to be retrograde for a couple months. So it's going to call out all those raw emotional avoidance, everything we've been avoiding that is hurtful, that is aching, our scars that have been fully healed. And, you know, I think, Jess, I don't know what you think about this, but I really think that sometimes some wounds don't necessarily heal completely. You know, there's scars that are left, but we can still, like Chiron wants us to transmute that energy, to review the hardships, to review our journey, what's been hard, and find a new awareness to like shift that for us, to finally bring some closure, some healings, and some soul growth, basically. So what are you guys feeling about that? Tell us in the chat. And Jessica, what is this saying for you?
Yeah. So first of all, I put a link to you guys can get a free birth chart. If you don't have your birth chart yet, I put that link. It's not our website, but it's just a good one to get your free chart from. Because if you're watching our lives and our weekly videos, that chart's going to come in handy. And then also like the Chiron, I know like you can, if you Google Chiron calculator, just search Chiron calculator, you can pull up. And I could even do that in just a minute. I'll do that and put it in the comments. But if you're not sure where your Chiron in, that's like a quick, easy way to find it. So like like we said, like with my Chiron being in Gemini, I know it's a lot around communication. And so I think it's so helpful to know that, because I know I first learned about the Chiron a few years ago, and I remember just feeling so much relief, like this part of me that felt like misunderstood, or like something was wrong with me. Like if you feel like there's this part of you where you're like, I just feel like something's wrong with me, I think like understanding your Chiron can be very helpful in just helping you to just acknowledge it and be more gentle on yourself and go, oh, okay, this is what I need to move through. So for mine being communication, it helps me to feel empowered too, right? Because a lot of times when I'm out of alignment or I'm feeling bitter about something, it's like, wait, am I communicating? Am I even saying what I really think? Am I even really telling this person how I feel, or am I bottling it up? Am I avoiding the situation? And more times than not, the problem is me. It's not the other person.
No,
it's
always,
because I'm not speaking up, because I'm not speaking clearly or saying what I really mean. So it's that reminder to me that I need to do that. And I've come a long way. I still have a ways to go, but it's empowering to know it and to work with it, you know?
It is very empowering. And I think that's what's going to be so cool, guys, as you work more with us, as we create this community right now of like, having like getting to know your birth chart is one thing, which is awesome. But then getting to know your birth chart in real time. Like, what does this all mean for you? Because we're going to, like just said, you don't have to understand everything because you're going to receive it energetically. But right now, you want to know what house Chiron is moving through, because then I can have an idea that the core wounds I'm working on in my soul's evolution right now is in my 10th house energies of leaving a legacy, of working on some projects and what are we doing right now? Jess and I are working on a project, and it's going to be my breadwinner. And I have a lot of core wounds around that are a profound sense of like probably an internal crisis that I'm feeling, that you may be feeling, is emerging inside of you right now with this Chiron. And those energies come up to the surface because they need to release. And a great way to release energies is not only working with these bigger transits like Chiron going retrograde for a few months, but is utilizing the moon cycle to continuously do your releasing on a consistent basis. And Jess and I have been discussing a lot about consistency. So for those of you watching, are you consistent in the way that you take care of yourself? I mean, on a soul level, and I mean on the releasing and the navigating the energies. And I mean, I haven't always been consistent. And I find it's great to have people that I can talk to, and just like, you know, with Jess or other people that I can talk to. And then, and even in this group keeps me anchored in and saying, yeah, I being consistent in the way I move through my cycle. How about you, Jess? Like, I don't know if people have comments for that, but
I did just drop the link for finding your Chiron wound if anyone wants that. It's in the comments. Yeah, I do think that a lot of it is around consistency for me too. Like, it's been a big change, but also realizing my way of being consistent isn't going to look the same way as someone else's way. Like when you see someone else, the way someone else does something, like, oh man, this person gets up and goes to the gym for 2 hours every morning. And it's like, wait, that doesn't even feel aligned for me. Why would I even compare myself to that? Just an example, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I like to move my body, but for me, a 10 or 20 minute walk is perfect. It's perfect for me, you know?
Yeah.
So like, that's, you know, a more physical example, but like on the way we look at our spiritual practices and daily routines, being able to have tools like the astrology charts and the moon phases and things like that can be so helpful in the way we move and find like what the consistency is for us. You know, maybe one person does a full moon ritual for themselves that's, you know, again, like 1 or 2 hours long. And it's like, okay, maybe for you, it's just pulling out your journal for 10 minutes. Like what works for you? What is your way of being consistent? You know, find your way.
Yeah, and I think we can really help each other here in this group do that. And then we'll be doing it even on a deeper level in the community membership that we are building. So I'm going to get to the comments in a minute, but I just want to say one last thing about Chiron and then we'll move on. So just remember, this is a beautiful time to reflect, okay? Reflect on where your core wounding is, would be maybe also be, it's hard work. And I mean it, like, it's not that it's going to, but it's hard work emotionally, but maybe you can journal around, like, where have you felt abandoned? Or where have you abandoned yourself? Actually, let's bring it back to taking responsibility for ourselves, because it is in Aries. Aries is all about the self. Okay, it's all about your energy of independence, your sense of self, your inner drive, your inner motivation. You know, it's all about you in Aries. So where have you been abandoning yourself and maybe felt abandoned and that you're still avoiding? That's a great place to start. So I just wanted to let you know that that is a place where you can gently begin to see and maybe start picking up the pieces and come back home to yourself. And know that like Chiron allows us to have that process of grief, and to know that sometimes loss, well, not sometimes, actually all the time, loss is part of the game here on Earth School. And that waning phase shows us that every month, that loss is part of the game. And then we find new levels of newness that we bring in, or, you know, we gotta, I think like the sun moving in Leo right now too will help us with that bravery, that brave heart, that coming into a heart and really looking at our wounds and saying, you know what, we're going to peel off a layer of that core wounding at this time and come in more into ourselves. So that was just like a last thing about Chiron that I was kind of wanting to share with you guys. So, because yeah, and I would say that Chiron is yeah, it's our deepest wounds. It's where we really felt, I feel it's a bit of you know, just the 5 of Pentacles energy, when that like oftentimes depicted as a little lonely girl out in the cold. Because I think there's a lot of, I should have Googled the story of Chiron, because Chiron was abandoned by the people he loved the most or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right.
Or wound inside of him or something like that. So we all hold, these are archetypical energies that we discuss in our soul's evolution. And the way that I like to talk about astrology, evolutionary astrology, is about the archetypes that we move through as a whole, and that we all hold those energies inside of us. And right now, it going retrograde, it's spending more time and in these points in your chart to help you transmute the energy and move on from those wounds. Maybe we'll still carry them because they're part of us, but we can transmute that energy. Yeah. So how's everybody feeling here? What are people saying? Good morning, Dee. She said, I feel this. Sonia, receiving and accepting what my soul wants is my wound. Yeah, and I think a lot of our wounds, like for a lot of us. Dee says it's a struggle, yeah, to be consistent. And Sonia says, I find consistency goes out the window when I'm good in my head. Then when I start to feel the anxiety, then I feel the need to ground and meditate. Yeah, isn't it always like that? When we feel good, we forget about all our practices sometimes. And then we're like, oh, we're not feeling too good now. We better get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's so cool. I think there's 8 of us online. Thank you for being there, guys. We love coming on live to just touch base with you a little bit. And thank you for putting the Chiron thing there, Jessica.
Yes.
So I don't know if some of you have seen, let me know if you've seen it, either with a heart or a comment, but we put out a poll about your birth chart to see who has their birth chart. How do you want more information to know how to use it? What do you do with it? What does it actually mean? What is it for? This package, oh, there's my human design stuff too in the back. So this little package here, I travel with it all the time. I have it in my bag. I am constantly looking at it, that or online. So what Jess and I decided is that we're going to be hosting a live birth chart workshop. Is it a workshop? Yeah, it's called a workshop.
Yes. Yeah, I'll put that link too.
So the workshop, yeah, Ashley says she's seen it. So excited to look this up. Thank you. You're welcome, Melissa. She's going to check her Chiron out. So it's interesting because it's one thing, again, okay, this chart is the blueprint of your soul, okay? It's the blueprint of your evolution. And how do we know that? I look at your Pluto and I have a good idea of what your soul has been throughout the lifetimes. What are you transforming and what are you moving through this lifetime? So that's one thing. The second thing is that you can use this birth chart to navigate your week, in real time. Like today, if you want to go look at what's happening for you today, you're, for example, okay, the sun is at 27 degrees of Cancer. You're going to go find that where that's in your chart. For me, 27 degrees of Cancer is in my first house, in my sense of self. So that is like Cancer is in my first house. So for you, Jess is also Cancer in first house. But like for you guys, you might have Cancer in your 5th house, in your 10th house, in your 6th house. And then you're going to have an idea of how to navigate that for this week. So for instance, Jess and I offer some free weekly energy forecasts. We talk about the moon. So again, just a little example. The moon today is at 27 degrees of Aries. It's in this 3rd quarter square. Now we give you the general information that at the 3rd quarter square, there's adjustments to make. There's things to let go. It's the waning phase. We're releasing. So then you're going to go see, okay, well, where's 27 degrees Aries? Oh, I know Aries is in my 11th house, 10th house. So I'm releasing things around my work environments, you know, stuff like that. So I'm, you know, then I know that this is where I'm releasing, for example. So yeah, Jess and I thought it would be really fun to offer you a workshop where you can find planets and points in your chart to follow along. You can find every new moon, every full moon. You can even create a lunar planner with this so that it really will help you be more consistent and in navigating the energies that are coming up. So how does that sound to you? Is that something you're interested in, Jess? I think like you're really excited about this, right?
Yeah, and I think too, I have to add, what's going to be great about the workshop is it really is just something for you to have another tool to help you help yourself.
Exactly. This is exactly what it is about. So providing you with tools, providing you with support, holding that space. And, you know, if you're planning on joining us in the membership really is to go deeper. So we're going even deeper. And because there's the surface level of the everyday, you know, transits and stuff. But in the membership, we're going deeper and we're going to be working, for example, like Chiron could be one of the themes we're looking at. Venus is definitely going to be a theme we're going to look at because she is the ruler of Taurus and there's a lot of shit going down in Taurus right now. Okay. Like that is actually, we see it at the collective at large. We're asked to rely on ourselves. So we need to know how to take care of ourselves and prioritize ourselves if we need to rely on ourselves. So we need to figure out, well, how does our Venus need to be taken care of, for example? So those are themes we're going to look at. And in the membership, it's going to be tailored much more specifically and uniquely to your energy. And what else are we like, yeah, so I'm going off a little bit in the membership
no,
right now.
That's okay. I know. No, I know too, we were talking about earlier, like anyone who's already planning on joining the membership, make sure you do the free workshop coming up because the free workshop is going to help you. It's a really good start point. It's going to go along really well with what we're doing.
Yeah, so Jess will put the link for the workshop in there. Yep. And we're already going to answer this question for those of you who have it. Yes, there's a replay available because I realize that not everybody is available at on the 3rd of August, I think it is at 10 or 12 o'clock. But, you know, I got to pick a time. So that's the time. And Jess and I will be live on there for you, really going through on how to work this thing in a concrete way, a practical way that will help you every single day if you want to, right? Every week, every month. With so because there's exactly, there's one way of doing it, and yes, you want to know more of your unique energy signature, and that's you really having eventually maybe a private session with Jess and I where we're going to read your birth chart, we're going to give you information, you know, and some of you already have details about your birth chart, but I think for those of you who are new to the whole world of astrology, or even if you're not new, evolutionary astrology is up and coming topic. It's new to me anyway, in that, well, since 2012, it's new to me. And the astrologers I follow and that I study with are all evolutionary astrologers. And it's really on a soul level. It's really to understand your growth and how you're growing and transforming and evolving, right, at this time. So yeah, I hope you meet us there in the workshop. I think, yeah, Jess is going to put the
link is there. So register for the workshop so that if you can't make it live, if you're registered, then you'll also get the replay emailed to you. So
absolutely. And lastly, is there anybody there that has any questions, any comments of what we're talking about here? Any topics you'd like us to talk about? That could be a question that we can also post in the group. Actually, I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah.
If people have any topics they would like us to start addressing around understanding yourself and like to navigate the energies, because I really feel, or Jess and I, as we move through these changes and this ascension process we're in, meaning our evolution, the changes, the more and more we gather with like-minded souls that we can support each other and really be there and encouraging and empowering ourselves to be unique, to be ourselves, to just be us and still feel part and belong to, have that sense of belonging. That could probably heal our core wounding, actually. It's very healing to be part of the community, I feel. So any last things coming up for you, Jess?
No, I feel like that's good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on my side. But you know me, I would probably talk about everything. Tomorrow, our weekly is coming out. Jess will be emailing that out. Have a look for it. We'll be posting it on Facebook as well. And yeah, I'm going to wish you, what's happening here? I'd like for you to talk about your journey and how astrology, etc., changed your life. That would be fun to do at some point. Yes. To have a live or something and talk about my journey. And I also love when Jess shares about her journey as well, because we come from two different backgrounds, but we have a lot of similarities in our stories.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
We do.
Okay. Sonia says it's very reassuring to know that we aren't alone of feeling these strong energies that affect me physically. Oh yeah. Doesn't it ever? There's physical symptoms to this evolution, definitely. Do I have anything in my teeth?
No.
Just tell me if I have anything in my teeth. All right, guys, I guess we'll leave it there.
Okay.
And hope that you join us for the workshop. And both you meant, totally. I love sharing my journey, and I know Jess will be sharing hers too at some point. Okay, everyone, I wish you a great day, and I'm giving you a birthday cheers with coffee for me.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Yes. And we'll be on soon to chat with you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye everyone.